Hey everyone, it's Bref, CEO, founder at ClinicGrower, where we help fill schedules for aesthetic practices. I wanted to do a quick video for you today in a training and really a summary for a presentation that I did in front of and for thousands of med spa, aesthetic practice owners, cosmetic surgeons recently in Las Vegas. And so I wanted to bring it to you after the show because there was a tremendous response from this. We had clients that were at the show, med spas, cosmetic surgeons, aesthetic practices that are using our format and our philosophy in order to pack their schedules. And so I wanted to just explain the strategies in a quick video today and give this to you so that you can use these tools and these strategies. And I think you're gonna find, as everybody found at the event, or most people that came to us and spoke to us found, that there's some very unique things we're doing here that we combine with real fundamental, foundational strategies from a business and a marketing standpoint. And the key really is the strategy and the implementation. And so really from a high level, what we're doing here, and as our clients that were there were introducing us to other practices, we've really been a secret weapon for a lot of aesthetic practices. This might be the first time that you're watching a video from us, for example, but we've been doing this since 2017 and iterating systems and strategies from a digital and patient acquisition standpoint in order to grow practices profitably. And it really boils down to, I'll peel the layers back, unpacking your schedule solid, attracting those prepaid patients that have skin in the game, they're prepaying, they're showing up, and really removing the frustration from clients that they've experienced with other companies where they're looking at empty schedules or they've been promised that they're going to get appointments every month, but it's just not happening. And so what we're doing here, and I'm just going to explain to you with our strategy and the things that we're doing here at ClinicGrower, is we've really found that from working with practices, and this is something that we organically create at the event, 100% of the doctors that we work with had lost opportunities they didn't even know about. And this is really worth tens of thousands of dollars a month. If you think about it, even those injectable and filler clients that you're seeing, their lifetime value, they should be coming back. Allergan is telling patients to come back 3 times per year. They're being conditioned to do it for even just for Botox. And so you're talking about easily $1,200, $1,500 right there. But as we'll get into this, it's about upselling and really making that person a partner, a piece of your practice, a member of your practice, okay? And in many times, especially for cosmetic surgeons, this is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, okay? I won't go too deep into case studies here, but the system that I'm gonna show you through, it's really about a system that's fast and effective relative to generating and handling leads, converting prepaid appointments that are worth tens of thousands of dollars, okay? And so our philosophy here and what we spoke about at the event, myself and Brad, my business partner here, is you really, you won't sell 100% of the patients that you don't see. It's all about getting patients to show up, okay? Which is why our system and the strategies here focus on the schedule, getting patients, not just leads, but generating leads and getting people to schedule their appointment, which is the first part. Then the patient has to show up. That patient must show up, they must have intent, they must be interested, and I think many people that we spoke with have worked with companies where that wasn't the case. And so the next part of that, and I'll explain how we do that by getting patients to prepay, is the sale. Making sure that those patients that come in for Botox or for microneedling or for threads, or whatever the intent was in the first place, that they're becoming a member of that practice and they're being exposed to other services. And there's a sales process in place to sell that patient. And a sale is, if you look at it, it's really taking care of patients' wants and needs. Now you need to be able to make them aware of all the things that they'll tell you what they want, but you really need to be able to dig in and find out what they need. And if they're coming in for one thing to improve their look and feel, then there's a lot of stuff, a lot of our services that you need to be able to sell them so that you can help them at deeper levels and generate more revenue for your business. Now we also went through the scale, which is really increasing the lifetime value of that patient as well. And we're gonna peel back the layers on that here in just a moment too. Okay, so I promise we won't go through case studies here. You can check us out online and find out more. There's some examples here. We went through some med spas and aesthetic practices. Again, the big thing, the first part of this really is making sure that you're not leaking another lead again, that your schedule isn't bleeding in efficiency. And the ways that we're doing this, some of the stats that we communicated were there's a staggering 62% of calls go unanswered, inquiries go unresponded to from businesses, from aesthetic centers, from spas. Some of our clients that were there were talking about how our team are operating from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. handling inbound and outbound in order to increase the revenue you're generating from just what you have right now, maybe from leads that somebody else is generating and from things that you're doing, from inquiries you're already getting from being in existence. So this was really huge here. And our process here ensures that regardless of any gaps that may exist in your current plan, we have you covered. Because if you think about it, and we spoke about, you have a website, You've got a Google business profile, it used to be called a GMB, a Google My Business. You've got probably a Facebook page. You've maybe got a web chat widget on your website. You've got an Instagram profile. You've got all these things going on. Maybe you're doing ads on top of that as well, maybe on different mediums. And so there's all these different ways in which people can get in touch with you. And many of these channels are not being responded to. Someone's commenting on one of your Instagram posts and saying, hey, I'd like more information. And then you find out about that 2 weeks later and you ask your team, did you respond to that? And they all said, well, I thought somebody else would. That's the kind of things that you need to solve there. Have a dedicated person to do it, or bring in somebody to do it for you. This is really like a light bulb went off for a lot of practices, just talking about this component of our strategy in order to get those patients to schedule and show up as well. So part of the solution here, and again, this is not a sales pitch, but this is showing what we displayed to people at the event, is using what we call our appointment booking concierge. And again, you may already have somebody on your team that can do this, but if you don't, you're facing a missed opportunity. Our team are doing this for other practices, maybe even practices in your area, from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. We're actually expanding our hours now from coast to coast. That's up to 84 hours of coverage per week. And I can tell you it's so efficient. They were telling their colleagues that, and I need to change the word here, sometimes it's extremely cheap. And we're definitely not cheap, I can tell you that, but compared to other things out there, that's what practices we're saying, okay? Now, making sure if you're in certain markets, you've got bilingual specialists too, because you can be sure in most markets there's a growing Hispanic population, and in other markets there's many different nuances as well, so making sure you're able to communicate with people correctly in your marketplace. Now, from an ad strategy standpoint, we had people coming to our booth, I was showing them live, and if you reach out to us, I can do this for you too, one-on-one, or one of my practice growth consultants, to see what you're currently doing, and this was when the light bulb went off. This is where many practices said, okay, social media, just as one example, we're showing practices, they thought that they were doing something on social media. But when you look closely, it's a very generic ad, or it's just a branding ad, and the call to action isn't there. They're not using a funnel in order to generate qualified leads. And then those leads that are being generated, they're bleeding efficiency and opportunity there as well. So I think the big thing here is make sure you've got a good strategy in place. I'm happy to create one with you on a call, or like I said, one of my practice growth consultants. But because social media it's everywhere, we and you can make sure that you show up everywhere. There's ways you can do this, and again, I'm happy to do another video to show you how to do this as well, because this is the first step in getting prepaid patients. And guys, I can tell you, in the aesthetic space, where everybody's on social media and it's all about keeping up and looking great and feeling better, then this is a huge opportunity for you. You just have to have a strategy for social media, which is what we were covering at the event as well, and what I'm relaying to you here as well. Make sure you've got a good strategy. Look at what you're currently doing. Is it really generating patients that are booking appointments, that are coming into the practice, and that you're selling services to? And if not, reach out. We can definitely share some specifics with you on how you can turn that around, okay? The funnel. If you've got a website, one cardinal sin that we discussed with many practices at the event was, yeah, I'm running ads, and then we click on the ad and it's going to the website. They've got beautiful websites, but if you're running ads just to a website, patients are going everywhere. They're bouncing because some websites are out of date, some are not mobile optimized, many don't have chat features, chat widgets, but most of them just have too many options. They have like 15, 20, 30 different places where patients can go. Instead of attracting that patient for PDO threads, or for a tummy tuck, or for Botox or fillers, or for microneedling, and giving them that one specific direction to take care of the thing that they wanted on the front end, knowing that on the back end, with the sales system, you can package and sell them a lot more as well. So making sure that you've got a funnel, a landing page for each of those ads as well. This was like big for a lot of practices. Okay, now the show. Patients are generating leads, we're generating appointments, or you are. We went through what we call our AI squared, or AI plus AI. And this is how we're getting a 98% show rate for our practices, because we leverage technology, we use AI on the front end in order to assist our team. The most important part of this is actually the second AI, which is the amazing individuals, the strategy that goes into feeding the AI, but also the team that are there working with the AI to make a phone call, to speak to a patient, to develop that rapport, and to schedule them and take a prepayment from them on that call as well. We actually use a technology to send that patient a safe link. Happy to show you how to do that too. We have software that does that in order to get that patient on their phone to enter their credit card, to prepay for their package, if it's a special, or even for a consultation or a prepayment for procedures that we do for some of our cosmetic surgeons as well. So this was really, really huge, okay? Now, the other part of this is that there was many practices that we're working with where there was just inefficiency with tools talking to each other, and everything definitely wasn't being tracked. So what we went through was how to book appointments while the practice is really focused on their patient. And as part of that funnel, when you're generating a lead, giving them the opportunity to, at the very least, request their appointment time, okay? Because you want to have that patient visualize themselves coming into the practice and getting to show up. They have to have the opportunity to schedule a course when they're showing up. Now, the sale component, this is what we spend some time, talking about sales strategies. Now, our software is just one part of that, getting qualified patients to show up. And essentially, as I mentioned earlier, it's about getting that patient qualified through a funnel, through AI, and our team speaking with them. So they're only putting qualified patients on your books, patients that have paid. Only patients that have paid are going into our practices. In some very rare instances, practices that are doing consults, we're taking deposits or no-show fees as well. That's skin in the game, okay? There's an art and a science to it. Very, very simple. We have a dashboard for our practices to use as well. Everything is tracked up. So again, for you probably have tools at your disposal. Make sure they're synced up. Make sure that the tools that you have, whether it's software, that they're speaking to each other so that you can track everything. From a business owner standpoint, we were talking about businesses run on numbers, okay? If you don't know the number of leads you're generating, the number of appointments you're generating, the show rate, the sale rate, then you're guessing, you're shooting in the dark, or maybe you're spending money in the wrong places. So making sure that you have tools in place to track everything, but also that you have the knowledge from a business ownership standpoint to ask for that. We give this to our practices in a very easy software dashboard that they have. And make sure you're asking, if you're working with a marketing company, make sure that you have this information, and make sure you're asking the right questions in order to drive your business and to increase your volume and to increase your revenue, okay? Now, from the scale standpoint, this is something that we spoke about at great lengths too. So a missing piece for a lot of practices is having a robust sales system. Now, we were doing some coaching at the event. We have a lot of content on our channels here that you can leverage too in order to help with that. It's really, from a business owner standpoint, making sure that you've got sales and that you're coaching your team as well. From that business ownership standpoint, when you started your business, I mean, it was you. Like, you've been the one selling your business, and nobody will sell it the same as you do. I know from experience myself. But you need to have a system in place so that your team is equipped with tools and techniques in order to sell patients, okay? So that, as we spoke to a lot of med spas, for example, well, we have patients that came in for Botox, and the question was, well, did they buy Botox? Yeah, they definitely bought. We've got a great sales system. Did they buy anything else? Okay. So that's the part of the challenge there, is making sure there's a sales process to ask the right questions so that you can, number one, make that patient comfortable, so that it's not just somebody who's going to come in for 30 units of Botox at $10, but it's someone that you're having a conversation with, developing a relationship with, and then packaging a solution for them to take care of the problem that they really have, which they probably didn't tell you when they took advantage of the initial offer, but they need to discuss through a sales process. Now, our goal with all the practices that we work with is to add at a minimum, $1 million in practice revenue. That's our goal. We do that consistently with practices that we work with for missed opportunities. And so if you want to learn more about that, feel free to reach out. The big thing as well here is having the systems, the software, and the support, and also the accountability. You as that business owner, making sure that you're keeping the team accountable for reaching their goals as well. We can give you these tools, a lot of these tools. In fact, we can give you a lot of these tools for free just when we speak with you on a call to find out where you're at from a practice standpoint. Because we've been doing what we've been doing for over 5 years, we've got tools that we can just give you for having a call with us. I'm not going to just drop them in the comments here on YouTube, but reach out. I'm happy to share some with you, okay? This is also big as well. So when it comes to scaling the practice, every practice that we work with, and ones that we speak with, we'll look at the number of Google reviews they have, and 100% of the time, it's definitely not representative of how many people they've actually helped in their community. The challenge is, and quick win for you today, is simply to have your team ask and share. Ask that patient on the way out, and make damn sure that you're sharing that link with them, that link directly to a Google review, because a lot of people will say, absolutely, I'll definitely leave that review for you, and then they go into their car and they've forgotten about it already. Right then and there, make sure you're texting it to them, or at the very least, make sure that you have a system in place to text them the link to leave a review when they're in the car, as soon as they get home. But making sure that you give them, you know how it is, if somebody asks you to do something, that's fine. But if they give you the pen and paper right then and there, if they give you the tool to do it, you know you're going to complete it much easier because it's less work for you, okay? And so that's a big thing that we were talking about with practices. The benefits of the reviews are, that helps you to be the practice, the aesthetic business, the med spa, the cosmetic surgeon that patients call first. The more reviews you have, unfortunately today with Google reviews, a lot of it is, well, if there's a difference in reviews, people are going to look at the one with the most. It's kind of a vanity thing, but it also helps with patients making a choice. It is a better representation of your reputation, and also it helps with your search engine optimization as well, okay? So that's really it. You know, we're here to support with your growth as part of who we are. We have a support team, but the reason I'm doing these content videos for you is in order to deliver content that hopefully you find helpful. If you do, please just smash a like on this. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more. We're doing a lot more. We've got our podcast, for example, the Aesthetics Growth Show. Definitely want you to check that out. And we're here for you. We've been in the business for a long time. We will be for much longer. And I just wanted to do this quick video and also kind of parlay with what we see are, you know, the win-win, the foundation for successful partnerships. So that if you are partnering with another company, then this is what should be happening. There should be a relationship in place, which means that you know the team you're working with, that there's a commitment to a long-lasting relationship. I know that many of you are talking to people that are promising you the sun, the moon, the stars, and many of you probably know, if you tried it before, that you're probably only gonna be working with these guys for 1 or 2 months because the offer sounded great, but maybe it was too good to be true. And so we're here, we really back up. We not only, you know, say what we're going to do, but we do what we said. Commitment to growth, making sure you're working with partners that are committed to growth. It's part of our core values here at ClinicGrower. Growth is part of that, and growth mindedness. Making sure that the company you're working with has a reputation, and make sure that they're going to be in place to help you to generate a better reputation in your marketplace. Communication, make sure that if you're calling them, that someone's going to be able to answer the phone. Make sure that you hear back. I can tell you, most of the people that we spoke with were very frustrated with their partners or companies they're working with because they can't get hold of anybody. That's a cardinal sin in our books. Training, make sure that they provide training to you and your team. Consistent, you know, learning is a very important part of growing a business. Make sure they're experts in this space. You know, check them out, of course, and make sure they have a strategy. Please make sure they have a strategy to support you as you're looking to grow your business. Okay. So, contact information for us here if you'd like to get in touch. This is Bref McHugh, CEO, founder of ClinicGrower. Really appreciate you checking this video. Again, subscribe to the channel. Reach out if you'd like any help. We can't help 100% of the practices that we speak with, but we do provide tools and we help them in some way when we speak with them. So we don't work with, you know, all of them, for example, but from a call, we always share something that will help your practice. And so feel free to reach out, especially if you're an aesthetic practice, a cosmetic surgeon, a med spa. You know, you're doing at a minimum $30,000, $40,000 in revenue. We can really help you to get your practice at $1 million, or in many cases, you're already doing $500,000 or $600,000 a month and you want to get to $1 million a month. We work with practices at all ends of that spectrum, okay? That's it for now. Again, this is Bref with ClinicGrower. Until the next time, let's go, let's grow. I'll see you on the next video.